All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to this third book review. Um, Today I decided to review one of the book that I've read uh, like a long time ago. One of the first book that I've read by my own initiative. Um, the name of this book is Leonis. It's a French book. It's a series of books. So this is the first one. And I I just looked up online today, and I saw that like this book has not been translated in other language. Well, from what I saw, let me know if you saw otherwise. But I'm pretty sure it's not. It has not been translated in English. And I'm quite surprised. I'm quite surprised because it was a really good book. Um, so it's a book of. It's a series of 12 books in total. And yeah, so my motivation to read that book was really, I was really young. I think I would say perhaps like 11, 12. I was a teenager when I saw that book at the store. Was at like the drugstore with my dad, and I saw a book, 99 cents. The cover looked interesting to me. It was about Egypt. I was like, oh, Egypt, it sounds interesting. And yeah, I think like that was enough for me like to get hooked. I think a nice cover like always like attracts the eye. Like there are some books who are really good, but they don't have a nice cover. It's perhaps like sometimes like the name is enough, but if you don't have a nice cover, like I think it's hard to sell a book. But yeah, so I saw that book there, and I asked my dad to buy it, and obviously 99 cent, like, and it's a book. Like, would a parent say no to something like that? I doubt it. Like if they do, it would be considered some type of evil, right? Uh, or nonsense. I don't know. But yeah, I saw that book. My dad bought it. It was really interesting because at first I did not read it. Like it took me a long time to read it. Like I put it on my bookshelf at some point because I had tried to read it, but it didn't work out for me. Like I guess I was unfocused. I didn't have the time. I was bored at the beginning. So I stopped. And then I came back to it like a few months after, or perhaps like a year, something like that, because I know that like I started like in my first years in high school. I don't know if it was the first one or the second one, but one of them. Okay, so I read the book, and like after a while, right? And like it took me a while, but like I got hooked at some point. After finishing the first book, I got hooked. Because like it's a book series, right? And I think like the one of the struggles of a series of book is really being able like to set up, um, like to create like a good setting, and also like create some question in the head of the reader, like leave some unknowns, like how the story is gonna finish, who is those unknown characters, and all that stuff. And I think the book like really did it well. So yeah, no, I was really excited like to read this book. So if I can give like a brief description of the book, without like telling too much. Uh, Basically, it's a book of a young boy with a huge birthmark on his back in the shape of a lion, right? And like at some point, like he becomes a slave, and the whole book like is about like his journey on how like to prevent the downfall of Egypt, because the downfall of Egypt has been prophetized, and like he is the one who has been destined, like it is his destiny to prevent this. Okay, so the book is mainly about that, and yeah, no, because like I would not want to spoil you the book if you ever want to read it. But yeah, like the book was it's about that. You know, it's like there's some element of fantastic um magic, adventure. Like he goes all across Egypt to being able like to prevent the destruction of Egypt. Uh, there's there's a lot of reference to gods, and like sometimes we kind of see them, right? We heard about them. We like they interact with like some of the characters in the book, and yeah, like so if you don't know about like Egyptian mythology and all that stuff, like the gods, and I think it's a good interest, and it's a good it's a good gateway. You know, it's a good way to learn a bit about it. But for sure, like if you want to read more, go in depth, yeah, go find yourself a book. I don't have any recommendation, but like that would be a way to do things. Um, so yeah, and there's also like a good like set of characters. You know, like there's a crew of friends like who are like friends with the main character, and like as the story goes, like there are like other people who join like this small group of friends. So yeah, no, like really, really interesting. I really like the book. Like it's been a little while since I read it, but it's definitely a book that I guess marked my teenage years. And at some point, uh, like one of my friend got into it because I talked to him about it. So like near the end, like it was like much more fun to read this book because I had someone with whom like I could discuss the book and all that stuff. So like I used to get the book, and once I was done with it, like I would give it to him, and he would read it. He was like an extremely fast reader, so like it didn't took much time like for him like to yeah, to be done with the book, and so that we could discuss about it. So these were oh, this is my cat, sorry. So these were fun times, fun times. Um, so now the thing that I disliked about the book, um, I think that the world building was not really good in the sense that it's focused on Egypt, you know, focused solely on Egypt, and yeah, you could say like Egypt, like it's a big country, I guess, and yeah, like I would have find it like more interesting, like if they would go like to more like different places all around the world, but then again, like perhaps like it would be in contradiction with the purpose of the main character, which was to save Egypt. You know, so like it's hard to say for this one. But yeah, I didn't like that part, I guess, but I think it's necessary at the same time. Um, Lack of nuance in uh, like the antagonist. I think that it's important to have some characters that are not just bad to be bad or just bad to advance the story, and it's something that we see often in books. You know, like the classic uh, antagonist. You know, with the mustache and like the mean eyes, and like just like with some sort of evil plan. Um, yeah, but like it's a caricature. You know, it's not. It's not the most interesting thing, you know. And I think a good example is Game of Thrones. You know, like there are a lot of nuances in the characters. Like there, it's hard to say that oh, there's this character is he's a good character or he's a bad character. Like sometimes like it's a bit of both. Sometimes it's hard to to say at first glance you're like, oh yeah, I like that character. He's really nice. And that there's that other character who's like a bit, you could consider him like bad, but then like as the story progresses, you see that this guy, he just had other, I guess, priorities. He had like a different vision of things. Like he didn't like had the same experience, and because of that, it's understandable that he does what he does. You know. So yeah, in that book, like there was not much of that. But then again, it's a teenage book, so like I guess it's expected. I don't know. But when I was at that age, I was not thinking about that at that time. So it's more of looking back to it today. I'm like, oh yeah, like that was missing in the story. Okay. Um, so yeah, no, it was a book that I really enjoyed. A book that marked my teenage years. You know, I don't think that if I had not read those book, I would still be reading now. You know, I think it was like a really like an important book. So yeah, and there's another one that I will be reviewing for this, but yeah. So to whom do I recommend this book? I think because right now I'm like almost 30. I don't think that I would reread this book again. You know, unless it's for like really like curiosity and all. But I think that like the text is a bit more like for teenagers. The story also as well. So it's more like for teenagers, unfortunately. But if I guess you're interested in Egypt, like it's a good book for you. Uh, if you're speaking French, also, because like I said, I don't know if this book is in any other language. I'm not sure. I didn't saw it, so yeah, it makes me think that perhaps I should have done that review in French, but I guess I decided to stick with English for this channel. So yeah, um, it's a book that like really marked my teenage years. Um, and now like the book that I could compare it to, if I'm correct, it's a book from like the same um, maison d'édition. Uh, yeah, I don't know like the proper translation for this. But you know, like the company that edits books, I guess. Les Intouchables, The Untouchable in English. Um, and it's called Amos Dragon. And this book, yeah, well, this series of book, I'll make a review about this too. So to finish, Leonis, that series, I would give it like a 4 on 5, 4 on 5 because like I really enjoyed that book. While reading it, like I remember when I was like much younger, like I was excited at the idea of being able like to read the next book, you know, and I was sad at the when I finished the book series. And like I said, like I don't think that like I would still be reading today if I had not read that book, you know. So yeah, like it had a huge impact for me. So I hope you liked the video. Let me know if you read that book. Um, if you are perhaps thinking about reading this book, if you have any questions, I don't know, comments. Um, so yeah, thank you for listening, and see you on the next video.